but coming out November 11th on Blu-ray. Possibly, you could maybe say the definitive edition of the Blair Witch Project, which we had talked a little bit about this before, where some imprint, I think I got a screenshot of it, but imprint was putting out some Blair Witch Project in Blu-ray, and there was a lot of comments from like producers on the movie and other people like, don't buy this one. Something very soon's coming from Second Sight. And so this is finally what they're putting out. And
I thought you were talking about the cast members complaining about never getting paid and all that. I actually thought that's where you were going with that.
No.
So wow, they were saying hold off, because we're sort of getting the like, this movie's about to get restored in the way that was our original vision that was never put out in physical media before, like on that like artisan like DVD that they got put out. I think it got botched. That was a grocery store staple.
Yeah, for sure. So they like botched the hell out of that.
Remember that 15 years ago, you would just see like artisan DVDs when you were checking out at a grocery store, like $5 for Drugstore Cowboy and Blair Witch Project.
Yeah, it's a story my grandmother used to tell us all.
So this is what Imprint was putting out. They were putting it out with Book of Shadows also. So both of them were Blu-ray. It was in like this, they kind of do these nice little boxes with the ridges too, and they're both inside of there. There was some new stuff that they put together, but again, the producer or someone from the project like kind of spoke out and was like, hey, this isn't probably the one if you really want, what was truly intended. Do you remember this one that we covered too a long time ago?
The one on the left, yes.
This Blair Witch collection. There's like this German one. It had the
one on the left, right? Didn't we do that before?
No, this one is recently coming out. The one on the right is a German release that's got the remake of the Blair Witch in it too, and Book of Shadows. It's got all three. Oh,
that's right. You know what I'm thinking? I'm thinking Suspiria. Didn't Imprint do a Suspiria release that kind of looks similar to that?
Yeah, they did. They did.
Oh wait, so that remake didn't they keep going? How many Blair Witch movies are there now?
Well, there's I think just 3.
They might very well go on forever compared to our footsteps.
Well, when you look at this dude, this looks like basically the most complete release of Blair Witch that anybody could probably ever want. A new Second Sight restoration. So this is like their baby. Like this is like their restoration. They've probably been like toiling on this for a little while, from the High 8 videotapes, supervised and approved by the producers and directors. It's got a remastered original theatrical cut, the festival cut. It's got a new feature-length documentary that they put together, a new audio commentary by that woman again, Alexandra Heller Nicholas.
We need to get an interview with her. Who is she?
I know, really. I gotta know. She's on everything. Directors, producers, audio commentary, deleted scenes, alternate endings. Like, dude, so much stuff that they're putting on this release. It's like a ton of stuff, but it is Blu-ray, so it is region B locked. I do have Blu-rays of theirs, and you definitely need a region free player, at least in my experience. I don't know if maybe there's some like hacks people have figured out there, but the 2 Blu-ray players I ever had for any Blue Second Sight stuff did not work. I always had to use my region free. So this is like one of their big box deals. Like this isn't their, regular size with the regular sort of booklets. It's got a 184 page hardback book, Heather's journal.
Wow.
It's got these 3 like cards and then obviously the little digipack thing, but it's going to be like probably the size of, again, like Drive, like these ones that came with these really thick books inside.
Yeah. Dude, are these actors going to get paid?
I don't know if there has been any outreach to them or what it is, but hopefully, I mean, maybe they've a part of that documentary. Maybe they got some change through their way. I don't know.
I want to see a documentary on how they all got screwed for 20 some years. That would be an interesting, like a feature length documentary, not just even as a supplemental feature. I would watch that. Wouldn't you?
Yeah.
No.
Like that has been so interesting what they achieved and then got thrown right. They had to keep their jobs the entire time.
Yeah.
Their day jobs.
Yeah.
It is wild what happened to them.
If Second Sight's out there watching, which they probably are, maybe they can comment and let us know. How do you compensate the actors of the Blair Witch Project? Will it happen? Is it out of your control? And you're just like, look, we just want to put this movie out. Like, what is it?
Yeah. But I mean, to me, it's so fascinating because what this film represented, and it was indie. I mean, if you were around at this time, it went up against the grain and became like, how much money? I don't even want to know the amount of money that everyone profited off that film, but to see the creators of it and the stars
I mean, to say they got nothing is an understatement. It's crazy. I would love to see a documentary. They should finance it and do it themselves. Oh, that's right. They're broke.
They're broke. As soon as I saw this, because it piqued my interest when I saw that article about like, hey, the more like complete definitive thing is coming out from Second Sight. I'm like, oh crap, I love the Blair Witch Project. Second Sight's going to put it out. Great. I obviously had a knee-jerk reaction to just like cart this thing, but then no matter where I looked, even on some of the other like websites, you can't get away with getting this thing with shipping and everything else for like any less than like $55 to $60, which I could not pay the money for. I was like, a couple of things sort of, struck me. One, I know this is probably the best version of this movie that will probably ever come out. I feel like packaging wise. And the more I sat on it, I thought to myself, money aside, I really do like the Blair Witch Project a lot. It was one of those movies I saw in the theater, and it did freak me out like some people were freaked out. I know this was also polarizing. Some people walk out, be like, that was the most stupidest, boringest thing ever. To me, I really liked what I saw, and I would love to own it. But I'm like, I'm probably good with maybe like the $20 to $35 range for something that comes out. I don't know that this will ever come out in 4K. Not that that's what I'm waiting for, but I don't know that I need like the book about it and the journal about it. That's kind of where I was like weighing out.
And everybody's mystified about it.
It's like $10 more than even the Late Night with the Devil, I believe, before shipping and everything else. So I don't know. I backed off.
I was always in between on this movie. Honestly, when I saw it in the theater, trust me, it was a requirement back in 1999. You had to.
Yeah.
Dude, I even saw, my mom saw it in the theater. Like everybody did. It gave me a headache. And that's what I'll always remember. It was too shaky in the theater. And I remember thinking, well, one, I remember being angry. I got a headache. But I also remember thinking that ending was really cool. But I was like, I never want to sit through this again. But I respected it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I felt even at the time, it was like, I could tell this was different. The approach, how they brought the internet into it, how even at the time, most people thought it was real, which is so funny to me.
If I could add,
I was a 17-year-old alcoholic who smoked weed every day, and I knew this was bullshit.
Although I gotta tell you, I don't fully trust you.
Members of my family believed this to be real before this was even in the theater. You know how like the guerrilla like campaign that they did where they were like inserting like newspaper articles and that kind of thing before there was even any movie promo. It was just like you would read about it and how this thing was real. I remember being at like a family gathering, someone having one of those newspapers, sharing it with me and being like, can you believe this? Like they found this videotape of these people that got found. And like they're making like a documentary out of it and blah blah blah. Like they believed it.
I know, and that's what I'm saying. Like I was aware of all that stuff too, but I all knew it was bullshit.
My family did not.
Kids still. But I respected that. I noticed that is what I'm saying.
Yeah. And
I was like, wow, this is very unique. I've never seen a film achieve this. And it showed what the future of internet marketing and hey, look where it got us. Thanks, Blair Witch.
Yeah.
I am so sorry.
This is the regular. They always do their limited and regular simultaneously. And this release will have all those same special features. It will have the same transfer and all that stuff, just not all the extras. If they could start putting slips on their releases, like their regular ones, and this is probably going to be like the snobbiest thing ever, but like I would almost consider in this scenario, because I didn't want all that extra stuff, to probably pick this up. But I don't know.
You're going to get other editions.
And that's why I feel like I'm okay with waiting. But come on. I mean, Second Sight, like, I feel like there should be a slipcase on that. Am I wrong?
I don't know.
Tell me I'm wrong. I'm fine. I'm wrong.
To me, you're wrong. Because if I'm ordering from Second Sight, I'm not ordering a basic edition.
You're not. But what if you wanted to?
Like, this isn't even a problem for me.
But what if you wanted to? What if you're like me and you're like, you know what? I freaking love the Blair Witch Project and they're giving me all this new documentary and all this stuff.
For a Region B locked Blu-ray, man?
But if I have a Region Free player?
No.
Because it's going to be re-released. Honestly, all right, let me tell you this. If I was concerned with all the things you said, I wouldn't be, because you're going to get a North American release. You're going to get other releases of this.
Yeah, you will, but will it have all the Second Sight trimmings that they are putting in? It might not have that full-length documentary. It might have zero. It might be bare bones bullshit. And maybe they do some, let's upscale this in 4K. Like, this is the real deal as far as content's concerned. Huh?
We're going to upscale the Blair Witch Project.
Dude, you know they will.
Now, see, this is a title I would be perfectly happy just on DVD or Blu-ray.
Right.
I don't even really need that upgrade, but I hear you. I would definitely pick it up. But I'm just saying, no, if you're on the fence, let me give you advice as a friend.
Give me advice.
As your attorney, I advise you, hold out.
I'll hold out. Let's see what
you don't need to pay all that shipping and all that for.
Let's see what the chat thinks about it.
Regular edition Blu-ray, dude.
Let's see. What does the chat think about this? How many people got Blair Witch Project? How many people got Late Night with the Devil? How many Late Night with the Devils do you own? How many of you have bought like literally all of them as they come out? I mean,
Stephen King has all 23 of them.
Dude, I would buy that like umbrella one and then like put that original art steel in it, but like get the 4K from one of the other ones and slap. We have to Frankenstein it together.
Yeah.
But I'm happy with the Second Sight one, to be honest. And I like that I'm expanding my Second Sight collection. It's getting big.
Yet legend tells a different story.
It really is.
Getting big.
You have me beat on Second Sight. You definitely have me beat.
Let's see. What do we have here? Russ, Dundee says lies. Russ couldn't sleep for multiple days after Blair Witch Project.
No. I did, though. I saw it twice in the theater. I saw it, and both times it gave me a fucking headache.
MGJ 0728. I'm based in the UK, and I'd love for Second Sight to start doing slips on standard releases. I know, come on. Like, I know I saw someone else make fun, like cardboard enthusiasts. Like, I get it. Like, it's more cardboard and everything else, but we all enjoy when you get that first run release of any title and it comes with a slip.
I agree.
Before you miss out on it.
And listen, I'm not against Second Sight putting slipcases on there.
You are. You sound like it.
I just don't think it's a requirement.
It doesn't need to be a requirement. I'm just saying it would be nice if they started.
You give us people that collect cardboard cases a bad name.
It's kind of like that Silence of the Lambs. I don't need that slip over top, but man, it's kind of cool that they're doing it.
That was good.
Eric Otto says, Region B, boo. I wanted this in 4K. Region B Kings, Oscar Burroughs.
Oscar Burroughs, he's got some clever posts for us.
None of your business says James Cameron should restore Blair Witch. Oh, that's great. Dan Joker saw this when he was 8 years old. He thought it was real. I mean, I might have thought it was real when I watched it. I don't know what I was thinking when I went in. Maybe I did.
Well, and I'm not judging 8-year-olds for that. I'm judging at the time, like Matt, like you just said, someone in your family. I vividly recall adults like thinking that. And I was, for reference, I was 17.
Yeah.
I wasn't like a child and saw through it. I was basically an adult. And I was into movies. I was a kid who read and watched everything about behind the scenes. So like I was kind of ahead of the game on it. You know what I mean? In terms of it being a real documentary.
Well, let's be real though. Like, even though the story was obviously not real and that was all fake, like the way that they directed those people, they were real. Like, they were acting terrified, not because they were acting. I feel like they were literally terrified. They were starving to death. They had been like basically, left out there to die and filming this thing, and they cut it together in a real movie, watching real emotions. It's like Naked and Afraid before that was a thing.
Oh yeah. That's great.
That's real.
I'm not talking about the quality of the film.
Realism.
Let me get back to this. Do you know what my reasoning honestly was at 17 that I knew it wasn't real? What are they going to release a snuff film in the national theaters?
I don't know.
I mean, no one knows what really happened. The camera dropped.
Yeah, the families are all going to sign off on this and be like, oh, fuck. Hey, my nephew Jimmy just died, but let's collect that check. It was a great movie. Like, they were going to fucking do that.
They were raising awareness for the Blair Witch.
They don't want
people going to those woods.
At 17, even I knew that was fucking ridiculous. Raising awareness. We were all wearing bracelets and shit. Don't go into the woods in Maryland.
Don't go.
Come on.
You know what happened to those poor kids?
And that too. Maryland isn't far from us. So that was another thing that keyed me in on like, nah, dude.
And that guy was standing in the corner at the end and that lady screaming and that camera drops.
It wasn't scary at all.
It freaked me out, dude.
Oh, yeah, it was creepy. It was creepy and clever. But the movie wasn't scary.
Freaked me out. Well, I don't see anyone saying that they picked this up. I feel like everyone's thinking the same thing.
What's that?
That it's expensive as hell.
Oh yeah,
it's been a tough month,
and they agree with me.
Seriously, really?
Yes.
Let's see.
I agree with who said that? Can we get a 4K of Last of the Mohicans? I'm shocked that there isn't one. You got Daniel Day-Lewis.
True.
It's Michael Mann.
Yeah,
I'm shocked at that. You'd think that would have been released by now.
William Driver said the Terminator Steelbook has been bouncing in and out of stock. Amazon has it sold out for now. It went quick. Russ, you blew it.
Oh, damn.
You blew it, Russ. I picked it up just because I don't think it will get a North American release, says the Dundies. I mean, why wouldn't it?
What, Blair Witch?
Yeah, if Artisan, whoever can get it.
Yeah, we're going to get a North American
Anchor
release. Definitely. If you're, I know the Dundies, they roast me all the time. Yeah, you know what? You're not worthy, in my opinion. I was going to help them. But the Dundies, that's the person who always rips me about Twister.
God, he sucks.
Oh, shut up!
The Dundies is the reason your basement flooded, Matt.
Rightfully. Well,
Lindsay, the producer, get him out of the chat.
Banished.
Put my foot down.